Hi everyone. Now I'm going to explain a second unit, assembly language programming, which covers 30 marks. In this unit, I solved all the questions asked in question bank. The first question is explain the addressing modes of 8051, which is asked for 10 marks. So before explaining the different addressing modes, first you have to explain addressing mode. Meaning, what is the meaning of addressing mode? Addressing mode is a way to address an operand. The operand means the data we are operating upon. It can be direct address of the memory, or it can be register names. It can be any numerical data. Okay. There are totally 5 different ways if you want to execute one instruction in 8051. So first one is immediate addressing mode. Second one, direct addressing mode. Third one, register direct addressing mode. Fourth one, register indirect addressing mode. Fifth one, indexed addressing modes. The immediate addressing modes, in the sense, in the instruction itself you are going to mention the immediate data in the instruction itself by using the hash symbol. If in the instruction you have the hash symbol, that means it's a immediate addressing modes. After hash symbol, immediately it is followed by the constant number that is going to store into the destination operand, that is accumulator. That is called as immediate addressing modes. Direct addressing modes, it's another way of addressing mode. Okay, instead of writing the data directly in the instruction, you are going to store the data in address. That address you have to mention in the instruction. Move a comma 50h, the content of 50h address location, that is going to store into the accumulator. So that's why it is called as direct addressing mode. Third one, register addressing mode. In register addressing mode, you are going to write register names of your data. Okay, here. Okay, in register addressing modes, the example I have given, move a comma r4. Here r4 has your data. In place of r4, we can use any registers out of r0 to r7 of any register bank. You can use. By default, register bank is going to use in the programmers. If you want to change the register bank, you have to set the particular register bits rs0 and rs1 of the PSW. Okay, here move a comma r4 means the contents of r4 is going to store in the accumulator. Next one, indirect addressing mode. That means indirectly you are going to store the data, and address of that data is going to mention in the instruction through registers. That's why indirectly we are going to mention the address. We are not going to mention the address. That address is going to mention by using the pointer. Here for the pointer indication, you have to use the add symbol. Add symbol is followed by r0 or r1 register only. You should not use any other registers other than r0 and r1. That add symbol is going to work with only r0 and r1. So move a comma at r0 means it's load the content pointed by the RAM location into the accumulator. Here value inside the r0 is considered as an address, not a data. That address holds the data to be transferred to the accumulator. If r0 holds the value 20h, if you have the data 2fh stored at the address 20, then the value 2fh will get transferred to the accumulator after executing this instruction. Next, index addressing mode. In index addressing mode, mainly it is used to access the data or program from the external memories. It is going to form the address by using the JMP or MOSI instruction. So jump table or lookup tables are easily created using the index addressing modes. For example, moshi a comma at a plus dptr and moshi a comma at a plus pc. That means c means code here, move means it is going to transfer the code into the accumulator from the at a plus dptr. Means when dptr is a data pointer, pc the program counter, both are 16-bit, which is going to form the address for the code. That's I explain with the example below. Move a comma a plus dptr, that is for the opcode for instruction is 93h, dptr holds the value of 01 feh. So 01 is located in dph higher 8 bit, fe is located in dpn lower 8 bits. Accumulator has the value is 02h. Finally 16 bit addition is performed. Now that is going to result is 0200h, which is our data is in 0200h will transfer to the accumulator. Next question is explain the assembly directives of 8051, which is 5 marks question. Here you have to write all 4 assembly directives, that's org, equate and directives. You have to write here. You have to, what is the mean by org? It is the first instruction of your data. Next, equate means if you want to consider or if you want to equate any constant numbers, that is you can using the EQ, and if you want to end the program you can use a directive is end directive. So these 3 directives you have to read it, and you already used in many programs, and here I solved with examples also. Okay, how it is going to work. Next question is classify the instruction set of 8051. Again it asks for 5 marks, so you have to list all 5 instruction set, and you have to explain each instruction set with using one example. First on data transfer instruction, which is mainly used to move the byte variable, byte in the sense 8-bit variable, that is byte variable indicated by second operand is copied into the location specified by the first operand. The source byte is not affected, no other register flags or registers or flag is affected. During data transfer instruction, no one flags is going to affected. So here the syntax is move destination byte comma source byte. So that is already I have given the description now. So source byte is going to store into the destination byte. Move means transfer. Example is move a comma at r0, which is going to move the content of memory wanted by r1 into a register. Next, arithmetic group instruction. Here the arithmetic group instruction is going to use to perform the different arithmetic operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication and divisions. So here I have solved one arithmetic operation, add a comma source byte. For all arithmetic operations, destination operand should be accumulator. Next, logical instruction. Logical instruction means it is going to perform the logical operations: AND operation, XOR operation, NOT operation and OR operation. These are main logical instruction, and out of that I explain AND operation for AND, ANL, or ORL, for XRL, for XOR operation XRL, for NOT operation they are going to use the NOT, that is NOT operation. Here I have given the function and description. I have given the example. You should know the truth table of logical AND operations. Result is going to perform according to the truth table of logical AND operations. If both inputs are high, output will be 1. Okay, otherwise output will be 0. Next, rotate instruction. In rotate instruction, the function is, it is going to rotate the contents of accumulator. Rotate instruction is going to work with only accumulator. So I have given one instruction, that is RLA. You can mention another example also, RRA, rotate right through accumulator. It is going to rotate the contents of accumulator by bit. I have given one example. The accumulator holds the value of 0C5H. Following instruction, RLA leaves the accumulator holding the values 8BH with carry unaffected. Final branch instructions. In branch instruction, you have two types: unconditional branch instruction, conditional branch instructions. Unconditional branch instruction, it will not check for any conditions. That's what is called as unconditional branch instruction. Example: AJMP, LJMP, SJMP. Conditional branch instruction is going to work depends on the condition, is going to check by the instructions. For example, JC, JNC, JBC. Next, call instructions. Another control transfer instruction is the call instruction, which is used to call the subroutines, that is mainly used in the interrupt services. Next question, identify the addressing modes of following instructions. They are going to give some instruction set. You have to mention this instruction belongs to which addressing modes. For 5, I have solved push direct addressing modes, move E, R1 register addressing modes because both are registers. Move E, at R1 is indirect addressing modes. You are going to use a pointer. JNC ahead direct addressing modes because after JNC checking the condition, it go for directly labels. Move A, at A plus BC index addressing modes because it is going to form the base address for the instruction. So point out the mistakes in the following instructions. You have to find out what will be the mistake in these instructions. First one, push R1. You can't use any registers with a push instruction. You have to mention only address after push. Next, move R1, hash 398 means it is maximum value you can store in R1 for 8051 is 255. 398 is more than 255. That's why it is another mistake in this instruction. RET label. It is not only RET, it is RET label. I am making that correction. Here you have to write RET label is given. I am not written here. Now I am writing. Now in RET label, after RET instruction, it should not have any labels, but they have given RET label, so that is a mistake. You have to write only RET. Fourth one, move R1, R0. There is no transfer between the registers of the any register banks. One should be SFR. Next, div A, B. There is no comma between A and B register. You have to write div AB. Okay. Next, explain any 5 single bit instructions. So I have mentioned any 5 bit here. I have mentioned CPL bit, which is for from the complement, ORL logical OR operations, which is for bit, move data is going to transfer or bit transfer between the source bit and destination bit, ANL C, source bit, and XRL source bit, C, source bit. These are 5 single bit instructions. All 5 bit instructions means it is going to transfer a single bit from source to destinations. Indicate the uses of following instruction. You have to write what is the use of NOP, XRL, ORL, ANL, RETI instructions. Okay. Now NOP means no operations. It is going to write in the 8051 just to introduce the delays. Next, XRL, ANL, that is ANL means it is going to form logical AND operation for byte variables. That's how I explained with the example here. Okay, it's perform logical AND operation, no flags are affected, and it allows any 6 addressing mode combinations, and you can use any addressing modes. And ORL, it's same as ANL, but it is going to perform logical OR operations. Again, we can use any addressing modes. Next, XRL, again it is same as ANL, but it is going to from XOR operation only. It is perform the different operation compared to other logical operations. That is, again you have to write using any other addressing modes. Finally, RETI, it is returned from the interrupt. It is returned with RETI. It's the end of the instruction in the interrupt. It is going to indicates your interrupt service is completed. You have to start the normal execution for the 8051. Next is explain the different branch address range supported by the 8051 instruction. You have to mention all the branch instructions and address range. That's I have explained unconditional branch instructions. Only you have different branch instruction: AJMP, LJMP and SJMP. AJMP unconditional jump to the code address. New value for the program counter is calculated by replacing the least significant byte of the program counter value with the second byte of AJMP instructions. LJMP long jump, LJMP code, and I have given the instruction, and it can jump any memory from 000H to FFFFH. SJMP short jump, relate address is it must be within the -128 to +127 bytes of instruction that follows the SJMP instruction. Next, explain any 5 condition branch instruction of 8051 10 marks question. You have to explain at least 5 conditional branch instructions. Here I explain JNC, jump if carry not set, and it is jump to the relative address. JC means jump if carry is equal to 1. JNB means jump if bit not set. Next one, JB means jump if bit is set. Next, JNZ, that is jump if accumulator not 0, jump to the relative address. JZ means jump if accumulator 0, JNZ relative address. This is a CJNE, compare and jump if not equals. There are different ways to declare or compare instruction with a different addressing modes. It's compare both operand and operand 2. If both are not equal, not equal, it's going to take the jump. Otherwise, it is going to becomes a false. It is going to execute next instruction, which is written on the CJNE. Next, you have some programs. First one, write an ALP to transfer a block of data from one portion of internal RAM to another. Here you have to write the program how to transfer the some block of data which is store one RAM location to another. So I have written program here. So I have taken 3 registers, R0 to R4, R2, and R4 I declare as a 0. I'm making blank, making with the zeros. After you have to add using the add A comma R0. JNC next means if there is no carry, it is going to next add A comma R1, next content of R1, and if there is a carry, it's increment R4. Again, it is going to continued till addition of all 3 numbers, and that is going to store into the internal RAM 06. Okay, this is the program for write an ALP to transfer a block of data from one portion of internal RAM to another. Next one, write an ALP to average of 5 marks stored in internal RAM. Assume the maximum marks to be 50. It's a 5 marks question. So you have to take average of 5 marks or taken total of 5 marks which is stored in 40 address location. 5 means counter is 5 values. Add all the 5 values. Result is going to store in A, and finally you have to divide the result of total result of accumulator contents by 5. So final result is going to store into the 5 and 6. Next, write an ALP to convert ASCII to hexadecimal. You have to convert your ASCII value, that is you are already solved this all problems. You got the output as well in the lab as well as in the class. Here you have to take the ASCII value, convert that ASCII value to hexadecimal format. I have taken one value in accumulator. I have performed the AND operation to mask the higher nibble, and I have changed the swap. Again I have stored into the R0. Again one more ASCII value taken from 41, again for my AND operation, which is going to mask the higher nibble, and it is going to add with the contents of accumulator as well as R0. Finally hexadecimal value stored in 42H. Next, reverse operation, hexadecimal to ASCII. You have to take the hexadecimal number from 30H, and for my AND operation add with 30, that is one ASCII values. Again same number you take it from the AND operation. In above AND operation it is going to mask the higher nibble, and below AND operation it is going to mask the lower nibble. Swipe it, add with the 30, again one more ASCII value is going to generate, that is going to store in the 32H. Here you have to find the smallest number and largest numbers. Okay, you have to take some set of largest numbers randomly, and you stored in dptr, so external memory are stored, and take it from the external memory. Compare with ff is a maximum number. If any number less than ff, okay, so those are going to now consider the smallest number in that given inputs. Using the CJNE instruction, I am checking with the 50H and finding the lowest number. The reverse, you have to compare with the 00H. Second program, write an ALP to find the largest number in an array of numbers stored in external RAM, that is 10 marks question. Here again you have to take the smallest number is 00, compare with all the numbers with 00, and find out which is the number is largest, that is you can store into the R0, so 50H. So finally you get the largest number in 50H location. This is the arranged series of 8-bit numbers in ascending order, 5 marks sometimes, or 10 marks question. It's same as smallest number finding, but every number compared with the previous numbers, and finally it is going to exchange the numbers, which is lesser goes next and larger number comes next. Same program we previously I have explained, same program, only number having going to change. Same thing in reverse manner, descending orders. Here again start with org 000H, and is going to perform the same operation, but here compare with the largest number, which is largest, it goes above, and smallest number comes below. Next, it is going to search the given 8-bit number in the list of n 8-bit numbers. That means here you have to give the some n numbers as an input, and you have to search any one number from the given input. If that number is present in the given set of numbers, that number is going to find out using the CJNE 30H at comma loop. Okay, that is going to store in 31H searching number. If not, so it give the result as a 00. So finally differentiate between assembly instruction and assembly directives. Ask for 5 marks. What is the difference between instruction and directives? Instruction is a part of programs. Assembly directives it is not a part of programs. It's an inbuilt instruction. Assembly instruction executed by target processor. Assembly directive is going to run during the execution, so it is not executed by target. Assembly instruction is segment selection. There is no segment selection in assembly directives. Example for assembly instruction is move, add, subtract, mul, do like that. Assembly directives db, org, end. So these are the examples for assembly directives. With this, your second unit is completed. Read this one, and if you have doubts, ask me back. Thank you.